This is part 2 of, let's call it, disassociation of the body, just for reference. So see part 1 to understand what I'm talking about. But trauma can take you to a place where you have subconsciously and unaware, unintentionally disassociated from your body, to the point that your body is suffering and will take a decline in health and structure, in its nutrients, in all the things, all the way that the systems work and they're required to work. You can make yourself sick unintentionally by not being there for your body and not loving your body in the way that it needs to be loved. You need to be connected, mind, body, and soul to, makes me want to cry, to everything about you has to be loved. Do you know why? Because our source is love. Our very nature is born out of love. We are love in skin. And love can sometimes appear as discipline. Love can sometimes appear as self-control. There are many forms of love. It's not all just the fluffy kind, with like heart eyes and all that jazz. And sometimes we can be disaligned to ourselves and our own love toward ourselves, which is a vital part of our embodiment of being who we are as spiritual beings in this vessel. If we are disconnected from our vessel, we are limiting what can flow through us, because it's being hypocritical. This is what I'm being shown. It's being hypocritical to extend a hand of love when you haven't first put it on your own heart. How can one touch another heart if you're denying yourself of your love, or you're denying from yourself or others? We have to be in this place where we put ourselves under the microscope to know that it is a responsibility of ours to get ourselves right. And it's a work in progress. The spirit can flow. We are vessels. We're like a hose pipe. But if there's things in there, it's going to inhibit that which we came here for. And more often than not, it starts with us. In fact, most of the ways that I've worked through anything, it starts with me. It's always been me. And then I become the model to express it for others, or put it into a language or a format that is easy for others to comprehend or understand. I've never really been aware. I've been aware of how I've perhaps not taken care of myself in times of trauma. As I say, as a young person, I struggled with eating disorders and various things, but I was aware that I have disassociated from my body because it was too painful to be in my body experiencing the sensations of trauma, experiencing that sense of fight and flight, to the point where I wasn't even consciously aware of it. I have mentally checked out and not wanted to be in my body. And then you can, when you're in your body and those feelings come up, you want to escape, or you want to divert from the awkward conversation, or you want to divert from the thing that feels uncomfortable. And what I want to say to you is, sit with it. And sometimes people will come as mirrors and say things to you which you just immediately reject because you don't want to hear it. But they can see an aspect of yourself that maybe you can't see because you're not ready to see it, and that's fine. I've been hearing a lot recently about when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. And there's things that are happening, and they seem to be quickening with me, that, you know, you can think mentally you're ready, but then you're blindsided by something very obvious that you're not in alignment with. And it might be easy for someone else to see it, but you can't see it yourself. No one's ever come to me and said, I'm dissociated from my body. This has come from spirit revealing it. But sometimes people will come and say, hey, you're a little bit unapproachable, or you're a little bit, you know, whatever. And you just search your heart. Just search your heart. Let truth be revealed, okay? Sometimes that's just on someone else. I don't know where I'm going with this. My point is, we do things which are coping mechanisms, and that's all very well and good. But there comes a time when we're ready, when we're perhaps in a safer place, where we can then come and realign to what's jolted us out of place, whatever's thrown us, you know, sort of scattered aspects of us. It's like a soul retrieval, bringing it all back and realize. And how powerful is that, to come back and bring yourself in your fullness, mind, body and spirit, that you're going to love all of these aspects of yourself, and you're going to be a model, not like a model, Vogue, but you're going to model the experience of, this is what it looks like to be an embodied spirit that carries love. And it's not just words on my tongue. Ask my cells, do they feel loved? Ask my heart, does it feel loved? I'm not talking about other people, I'm talking about you. Do you love yourself? Do you forgive yourself? Do you feel worthy of love? Do you feel royal? Do you feel like your existence matters? All of these things. And if there's things that feel itchy or uncomfortable, and you're just sort of bouldering your way through, Spirit's been speaking to me about, we are strong and we can have like these aspects of strength. I was showing myself as a bison last night, and initially when I was faced with this bison, I had forehead to forehead with this bison, and I was scared. And then Spirit told me, that's you. You're powerful, and you carry a presence about you that some people fear you, but that's just the power that you hold. That's the power that you hold, and that's the energy of, I was strong, I had weight behind me, I could have just with my head and knocked people flying, but I was just holding myself. But then when I turned, because Bison's eyes were sort of on the side of the head, when I turned and looked at myself as this bison, and I looked into her eye, my eye, I saw my soul reflecting back to me, and I saw my eyelashes and the feminine softness, more vulnerable aspects. And this bison, she needed to find other bisons. And Chief was saying to me, there's more of you like you. And instantly I felt this resistance. No, I walk on my own. I always have done. I'm independent. I don't need other people like me. And then I panned out, and as big as this bison appeared to me, and as huge, and as she was on her own, she was still subject to attack. And there was safety in numbers of being with a herd of people very similar. And Spirit said, it doesn't mean you're not a leader. It doesn't mean that you're not being able to be independent. But there are others like you who also have the same issues as you. You're strong and you're a force to be reckoned with. But imagine that force in a herd. Imagine a herd of people just like you. The soul of us is soft. It's actually been hurt. It's sensitive. It's cautious. But I'm feeling that Spirit has other people similar minded to you, which don't take away from who you are and what you do, but there's a support system. Yeah, and I guess I've always struggled with that because I've had many downfalls in that area. But Spirit was saying there are people like you that won't hurt you, and they will just be around you and support you. So there's lots to consider here. There's a lot of self-reflection going on at the moment, a lot of showing your trueness to yourself, and there's no escaping yourself. So look hard and be honest.